What's in the box? This week we've got the most amazing, beautifully coloured spring flowers for you in our Flower Club box. Starting with the amazing anemones. Daffodils, but these ones are extra special. These ones are double daffodils and stock flowers. What a treat this week. Here's a preview of what we're making this week.
Trying to get paid for the get down. You can't tell me shit now.
So let's start with the stock flowers, which are locally grown, just so beautiful. Fun fact about stock flowers is that they are a little bit delicate in that they don't like to have their feet wet at the same time as getting their heads wet. They don't like the rain. They don't like to get rained on. Beautiful field stock, fresh from the grower. And because it is field stock rather than grown in like a glass house, I think that's why they're more fragrant. So amazing. Today with these beautiful delicate flowers and colourful vase, I'm finding that the best vase for my design is going to be this sort of egg cup shaped vase. And I know you guys know a little bit about this. You can purchase it if you like. So use your egg cup vase if you like, and use the piece of chicken wire in there as well. So I'm going to put my stock in the center of the vase, even though that flower is going to be sort of towards the back of the design. I won't put it at the back of the vase, if that makes sense. So towards the middle-ish back of the vase. I'm just gonna have these gorgeous stock flowers fanning out towards the back of the design. And I might just leave one. Usually I like to work in odd numbers, but I kind of like how that's sitting. So let's move on to the next flower. The next flower we're gonna use are the anemones. All killer, no filler this week. These beautiful anemones, they originate from the Mediterranean. Anemones have a low tolerance for heat. So that's why they really thrive as a winter flower. Also, you'll notice the petals are so delicate, and therefore they just wouldn't withstand strong heat condition. I'm gonna cluster mine and just make sure it's facing forward as well. Remember, every flower has a face, and you want to be able to look into the face of that flower. So your flowers this week may look a little bit different to what I've got in my vase, because stock flowers come in such an amazing rainbow of different colors. So everything from dark purples right through to this real candy pink that we've got here, even apricot right through to lavenders, magentas. So stock comes through in such a beautiful array of colors. And here's another version of an anemone. So that really beautiful magenta pink right through to this purple sort of violet color, so stunning. Also white with black centers, they're really beautiful, but I don't think we'll get any of those because I think our growers have left them for the bride. So this is definitely a color box. What I've done is I've just finished putting all my beautiful anemones in. I've used that grid to really make sure that they're touching the water. So they're in here touching the water source, but they're actually sort of almost leaping out of the vase, facing forward and creating that sort of like beautiful depth with the height of the stock and then the depth of the anemones that are facing forward. I also choose smaller heads at the front of a vase. Because they're at the front, they look bigger because they're closer to you. Whereas use the bigger ones in the back of the vase. So this big one, this big anemone back here is absolutely huge, and I've used that in the back of the vase. It actually gives perspective. So we've got that beautiful sort of collection on the left-hand side of the anemones. And just remember, keep a little bit of a gap between your flowers. You don't want them sort of sat on top of one another, or you don't want them really pressed up against each other. You want them sort of spaced out. Give them space to breathe and space to open because they're quite little buds at the moment. So we've got all of this coming out on the left, and we're going to fill up the rest of the vase on the right with these beautiful double daffodils. The next flower we're going to pop in is our final flower for Flower Club this week, and it is a double daffodil. Now, double daffodils are called a double daffodil because they've sort of got double the amount of petals, so pretty self-explanatory. But I just kind of wanted to show you and compare from one to another. So this is a double daffodil, and this is a standard daffodil. And you can really see that we've got two different things going on here. We've got the trumpet in the center, and the trumpet in the center of a regular daffodil is still fluted, but the trumpet in the center of this one is fluted, and it's sort of got like quadruple the amount of petals coming out of the trumpet, as well as out of its core petals as well around the outside. So they almost open up like a peony. They're just absolutely stunning. They've got that gorgeous sunshine yellow sort of color. Not the regular daffodils today, double daffodils. You may know from when we've used early cheer in the past or daffodils in the past that we need to prep our daffodils. And the way we do that is about an hour before we're going to use our daffodils, we cut them. And remember, always cut your stems on an angle, and then just sit them in a vase of water, because what's going to happen is your daffodils are going to release a sap, and that sap interferes with the longevity of the other flowers in the vase that you're going to put them with. So sit them in a vase of water for about an hour, let that sap drain through from the fresh cut that you've just given your daffodils, double daffodils, and come back to them after an hour, finish off your vase. An hour's passed, so we're going to use our daffodils now. I'm going to use the tall ones at the back and the shorter ones at the front. And with daffodils, there's more consistency of the size of the head. So unlike the anemones, I don't need to worry too much about the bigger heads being at the back, because all daffodils are very uniform in size. All right, so just clustering all my daffodils in the vase and remembering to put the taller ones at the back, shorter ones at the front, making sure when one flower finishes, another flower starts. So not crossing them over or putting them in front of each other. Because the heads are actually so full of petals, they're quite heavy, and that's why they're sort of like turned down a little bit. Oh, that one's just become far too heavy. Hopefully that stem, just with a really nice fresh cut, hopefully that stem will hold his head upways so we can see the inside the flower. Gorgeous, great. So as you can see, I've really color blocked here. So I've got my anemones in the purple on the left-hand side. I've got my daffodils in the yellow on the right-hand side. I've kind of intertwined them a little bit, and then just to kind of round it out, I've got that sort of candy pink stock flower at the center back, giving that beautiful height and such a stunning fragrance. It's so nice. Then I've got one stock flower left over. I'm actually going to use that in the design. I could put it here and just kind of cascade that gorgeous candy pink right through into the yellow. But I think my preference is to keep the height a little bit and put it there on the left. So just that's interesting. So I sort of just put it in and I thought, oh, that looks okay from where I am right now. But then I look from the front and I can see, no, actually it looks too close. It looks like these two flowers are sitting side by side. So I'm gonna step this one down or tear it down just slightly, just create that nice kind of tiered effect to continue that on with the stocks. All right, there we go. I'm so happy with that today. Beautiful spring bouquet of flowers, gorgeous for the coffee table, entry of the house, bedroom, move it around with you. Oh my God, it's so nice. I hope you love it as well. And feel free to join the Fig and Bloom Flower Club Facebook group. If you would like any tips, tricks, throw in any questions you might have, we'd love to hear from you. Oh, talking about tips and tricks, please refresh your water every 1 to 2 days with these flowers particularly. The reason why, stock flowers, they've got that beautiful fragrance, don't know what it is, but after a couple of days, they will smell like cabbage and you'll be thinking, is there something in my bin? Is there something in my fridge that needs to be thrown in the bin? No, you haven't changed your vase water. So do it definitely with these flowers, because the stalks, they will smell like cabbage. It's really gross. So that's my pro tip for these particular flowers. Great, that's a wrap. I hope you like it.